Hey, it is Troy Stavros, and it is time for the monthly market update, where we take a look at what is happening in East Tennessee and the Knoxville area in regards to home sales, home prices, inventory, all those things that have to deal with giving you enough information to make the right decisions on buying and selling a home. So let's jump in and take a look and see what is happening in the market. Okay. Let's start with the East Tennessee market. So this is all of the area covered by the Knoxville Area Association of Realtors, the Knoxville and surrounding counties, all lumped together into one. And this is looking at single-family home sales, April of 2023 compared to April of 2022. Home sales are down 21.5%. Inventory of homes is actually up 34.8%. Pending sales are down 8.5%. New listings are down 22.6%. That's a trend that we've been seeing for a while, and we'll go over again why that is. Overall, in the East Tennessee market, the median sales price actually dipped a bit compared to a year ago, just a fraction, and is coming in at $324,100. Last month, we were at $325,000, so first time the East Tennessee market as a whole has dipped lower than it was a year earlier, but we're going to see when we look at the different counties, which counties are causing that to happen and which counties are still increasing at a pretty good clip. And then the absorption rate is actually down slightly, meaning that overall inventory is still declining in all of East Tennessee as a whole. When we look at the little graphic to the left, that is last month's numbers. So when we compare last month's numbers to this month's numbers, you can see last month the median sales price was up 6.21% compared to a year earlier. So must have been a good month last year in April. But you can also see the inventory of homes is moving down. So we were up 52% last month, only up 34% this month, meaning that inventory is still is higher than it was a year ago, but overall it's still declining right now. So we definitely need more inventory in East Tennessee. And the result of that is we need more new listings, and why that's not happening, we talked about this last month, is so many home sellers are not putting their homes on the market because they have locked in low interest rates and they aren't excited about giving up that low 3% or better, sometimes 4% interest rate, and trading that in for one that's close to 7% right now. Let's just kind of take a look at the overall numbers here and these graphs. So when we're looking at the graphs here, you can see this graph in the upper right here, or upper left, is you can see this line just keeps trending down. That is our inventory line of single-family homes available for sale. So starting in November, it just started decreasing and has not moved upward as of yet. Typically, we would have seen this move upward already because of the spring market and new inventory coming on the market, but that is just not the case this year. So yet another month has gone by where we have not seen that line trend upward like it should. When we look at the sale to list price ratio for all of East Tennessee, you can see that line is trending back upward and is moving higher and getting closer and closer towards 100%, which would mean that to buy a house, you would, in all of East Tennessee, you would most likely be paying what the list price is or better. In this trend line up here, we're seeing home listing prices, and they are increasing. So prices are rising. They are not going down. So if you are in the market and you're like, I'm going to wait until prices come down, well, you're going to be waiting for a long time, meaning you're probably never going to be able to get in the market because prices are going to continue to increase because of the low inventory. Okay, let us look at the Knoxville, Tennessee market. That's everything with a Knoxville, Tennessee address. So home sales are down in Knoxville 23.5%. Inventory of homes is up 17.1%. New listings are down 29.6% for that same reason that we were just talking about earlier. People don't want to give up those low interest rates. Pending sales are down 13.3%. And in Knoxville, the median sales price is up 5.63% compared to a year ago, and is coming in at $365,000 as the median sales price of a home in Knoxville. That is up $10,000. Last month we came in at $355,000. So 1 month later, the median sales price in Knoxville has jumped $10,000 to $365,000, with the average sold price per square foot coming in at $205 a square foot in Knoxville. The absorption rate, we have seen a slight uptick in inventory, went from 0.95 months to 0.9 months to 0.95, but we are still under a month's worth of inventory in Knoxville, where a healthy market is 6 months worth of inventory. So it is still deep into a seller's market here in Knoxville. And you can expect all the things that go along with that, including price increases and competition when you're out buying a home. Okay, let's take a quick look at the graph for Knoxville and just kind of see what is going on in the all of Knoxville area. Okay, here's the Knoxville graph. You can see the same is holding true with the trend line for active listings. You know, once we got past October, it just started declining and has not turned upward since. So this is why we have so little homes available for sale, and you can always pretty much depend when this line's going down, the listing price line is going to go up, and it's going to cost more to get into a home. So you can see this line goes down, and then also the sale to list price ratio, which means how much you're going to have to pay according to the list price. You can see that the sale to list price ratio now has just this month, again, jumped over 100%. So in Knoxville, you can most likely depend on paying the list price, and that means there will be competition for homes in Knoxville. Let's take a look at another graph here. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's not look there. Let's look here. So here we are, Knoxville, Tennessee. One thing that we want to keep a look on to kind of look in our crystal ball and see where things are going is new listing prices. When we compare new listing prices, we want to see where they were a year ago and where they are today, and that will tell us where the market is heading price-wise, if prices are going up or if prices are going down, and what we can expect. Well, when we look at the new listing prices of homes in the Knoxville, Tennessee area, that's everything with a Knoxville, Tennessee address, and we look today compared to a year ago. Well, a year ago, new listing prices were $350,000, and as of the end of April, they were at $399,000, just under $400,000. So you can just see by this graph that prices are increasing. They are not going down. So this can tell us that we can expect those prices to increase, and then the prices as they go on a month from now, the sold prices will be higher as well, simply because prices in general are moving upward. Okay, let's take a look at Farragut. Home sales in Farragut are down 5.4%. Inventory is up 74.2% compared to a year ago. New listings are down 29%, again, for the same reasons. Pending sales are down 10.6%. Median sales price was up 17% compared to a year ago. But like we've talked about in previous videos, you can't take too much stock in a lot of these numbers in Farragut because there just aren't that many homes that sell in the Farragut area. So a very expensive home can really skew the prices and skew these numbers that we see here. And we'll take a look at maybe why that is when we jump over to the graph. But so the median sales price this month in Farragut came in at $645,000. The average sold price per square foot in Farragut came in at $209 a square foot. And the absorption rate actually ticked up a little bit. So we saw a little bit more inventory on the market this past month. But it's still right around 1 month's worth of inventory, which means super low inventory, still way deep into a seller's market. Okay, let's take a look at the graph here. You'll see things bounce around, but the one thing we wanted to take a look at, I guess, sale to list price ratio. Everything is right there, pretty much selling for what the list price is, just because there's not a lot of inventory. So there's always going to be competition when you're selling a home or buying a home in Farragut. But when we look down here at the homes that sold, here's a couple reasons why we may have seen prices go up. Here we've got three more sales in the 650 to 699 range. We've got more sales in the 800 to 850 range. More sales in the million range, one more in the 1.2 to 1.3 range. So there were a few more high-end sales this month compared to a year ago, which is why we're seeing that big jump, that 17% increase in the median sales price compared to a year ago. All right, let's take a look at the surrounding counties of East Tennessee and see what is happening county by county and which counties are faring better than others. Okay, so Roane County on the top left, available inventory in Roane County is up 21.3%, and pending sales are up 13.6%, but the median sales price in Roane County is down 4.54% and is coming in at $284,000. And the average sold price per square foot in Roane County is coming in at $152 a square foot. And when we compare that to the rest of the counties, that is definitely where you're going to get your best bang for your buck, because you can see in the small circles on the top of each of the other counties, they're all considerably higher than $152 a square foot. So that might be the best place to get the most amount of square footage for your money, which is in Roane County. Let's take a look at the graphs for Roane County and see how things are looking there. Okay, Roane County, same thing is happening with inventory. It kind of hit in February and has just stayed flat. It looks like it's slightly increasing, so seeing a little bit more inventory come on the market there. But you could still see, as far as the absorption rate goes, it's only at about 1.4 months worth of inventory, which is still extremely, extremely low. As far as sold to list price ratio, there's a little bit more negotiation going on. We're at about 96 or 98.6% in Roane County, so there's a little bit more negotiation going on there. But let's take a look for Roane County at the new listing prices to see where things are trending. Okay, so new listings, here's the prices. Let's look a year ago. So a year ago in May, they were at $255. Now they're at $292. So compared to a year ago, prices are still increasing. So but you can see it stayed flat here for quite some time. So this is something that we'll want to keep watching to see if we can find what the trend will be in Roane County as far as pricing goes. Oh, let's go back. Sorry. All right, Knox County. Knox County available inventory is up 16.1%. Pending sales are down 12.2%. And median sales price is up 6.18% in Knox County and coming in at $361,000. So available inventory is up, pending sales are down, and we saw earlier that the inventory situation in Knoxville, which would encompass the majority of Knox County, is in a bad place. Let's kind of take a look and see what those graphs look like. Again, here's active listings. Just dropped off a shelf and still going down. No uptick yet. Like again, we said we would have normally seen an uptick in inventory for the spring market, but we are not seeing it. We're still seeing it go in the negative direction. Absorption rate is under 1 month's worth of inventory. So again, we can expect prices to keep going up. And when we look at the sale to list price ratio in Knox County, again, coming in over 100, just over 100%. So you can expect to pay most likely list price or better and run into some competition when you're buying in Knox County. We can see the average price per square foot, sold price per square foot in Knox County is coming in at $199 a square foot. Anderson County, available inventory is down 6.1%. Pending sales are down 26.3%. And the median sales price is up 14.8% compared to a year ago and coming in at $280,000. Let's take a look at the graph for Anderson County. Anderson County, again, when we take a look at the active, same thing has happened. It dropped off a cliff till about February and then has been kind of holding steady there, not getting a lot of new inventory coming on the market there. As far as the sale to list price ratio, again, bumping right up on 100. So that's pretty much a trend that we're seeing, is that because inventory is so low, there's going to be competition. So you're going to have to be paying. You can't expect to get deals. You can't expect to be negotiating big amounts of money off of the list price, if anything, off of the list price. In many cases, if it's a nice home in a nice area, you are going to have to compete and most likely pay over list price for a very good home in a nice area. But that's something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at what the new listing prices are doing in Anderson County. Anderson County, new listing prices are trending upward. So 1 year ago, they were at $262. End of April, they're at $289. So not a huge jump, but definitely trending upward as opposed to coming down in Anderson County. And the average sold price per square foot in Anderson County is coming in at $173 per square foot. Okay, Loudoun County, available inventory is up 74.7%. Pending sales are down 17.8%. And the median sales price in Loudoun County is down 1.27% and coming in at $444,250. Let's take a look at the Loudoun County graphics. So their inventory situation has come down. It did tick up a little bit compared to last month. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if it still continues moving up. But when we look at the absorption rate, we are at about just under 1.8 months, 1.75 months worth of inventory in Loudoun County. Still low. We're seeing a slow incline in prices there. It's not moving down, so definitely still moving up. And a little bit more negotiation happening in Loudoun County. But let's jump over and see what the new listing prices are doing in Loudoun County so we can see if there's any kind of a trend there. New listing prices compared to a year ago, we were at $497, last month it was at $527. This month it's at $425. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that and just see what's happening. Again, Loudoun County is a kind of a different animal when you look at numbers like these, because it has Tellico Village in it, which can really skew the numbers one way or the other. If there are a lot of sales in Tellico Village, things are going to trend very high because it's expensive in there, where the rest of Loudoun County is not as expensive as what is selling in Tellico Village. So there's a small pocket within Loudoun County that can really skew these numbers. So we really need to dig in hyperlocal when we're looking at the numbers in Loudoun County. So if you're looking for a house in Loudoun County, or you're trying to see how much your home is worth, reach out to us. Let us dig into the data to know for sure what things are looking like for you. The average price per square foot of a home in Loudoun County, $234 a square foot. Again, keep in mind that will be skewed by Tellico Village. So we really want to dig into those numbers for you. All right, Sevier County. Available inventory is up 57.4%. Pending sales are down 19.9%. The median sales price in Sevier County is down 19.41% and is coming in at $410,000. So Sevier County is really kind of coming back to where it really took off over the pandemic. We saw tons of investors going into Sevier County and buying properties that they could put on as short-term rentals. So we saw prices just skyrocket in Sevier County, and now they're coming back down to earth a little bit more. At one point, we saw price per square foot average in Sevier County over $400 a square foot. Here we're seeing it come in at $302 a square foot on average. So it's just kind of coming back down to earth a little bit. Still high, but coming back down to earth. Let's take a look at what the graph shows there. You can see inventory is starting to trend a little bit. It's actually trending up. So it came down. Inventory is starting to trend up in Sevier County. So they're getting more and more inventory. That's good. But still, of the three counties, you can see this one definitely has more inventory than the others, because the absorption rate for Sevier County is at 3.65 months. Where everything else that we've looked at so far is right around 1 month or 1.5 to under 2 months. So more inventory available in Sevier County. You can see the trend line for sold to list ratio is actually trending down a little bit. It's coming in at 96%, so more negotiation happening in Sevier County. But let's go take a look and see what the new listing prices are doing there, so we can see if there's anything that is trending. So as far as new listing, you can see that it is trending down. So in May of 22, it was at 673, and then it came down and back up. It bounces around a lot. We were at 599 in April of this month. So, it's just showing us that things are definitely moderating in Sevier County. And Blount County, available inventory is 31.7%, up 31.7%. Pending sales are down 3.5%. And the median sales price in Blount County is up 7.69%, and coming in at $369,900. Let's just jump over and take a look at the graph for Blount County. Okay, when we were looking at the active listings, it moved down, and then just this past month, it jumped. They had a little jump in inventory. So that's a good sign for them that they're getting a little bit more inventory. Listing prices were pretty across the board, and then started going up last month. But you can see here, as far as the sale to list price ratio, they are bumping right up on just under 100%. So not a whole lot of negotiation happening there in Blount County. Let's jump over and take a look and see what their new listing prices are doing. Sorry about that. So when we look at the year, you can definitely see that things are trending up. If we just drew a line from here to here, you would definitely see a big jump. This went from 379, so basically 380 in May, and then end of April was at 424. So definitely new listing prices are trending up. Don't expect prices to come down there. So you could see the areas where basically almost every one of these counties, prices are still trending up. So again, if you're waiting for prices to come down before you jump into the market, you're just going to lose your opportunity. Because if you do buy something in the future, it's going to cost you more. This is what these graphs are showing us. So, all right, hopefully that was helpful. We're seeing a trend still, same as last month, same as the last couple months. Inventory is super low. Prices are still trending higher. New listings are way down because we know homeowners are reluctant to put their homes on the market because they've locked into low interest rates and they just don't want to trade for a higher interest rate. Let's look at a couple things that are going on currently in the Knoxville market. Apartment rents in Knoxville were up 12.75% in the first quarter of 2023 compared to 4.46 nationally. So Knoxville is definitely taking the lead nationally as far as what is happening with apartment rents. They are up 12.75% in the first quarter. So not only are home prices rising, but rents are rising as well in Knoxville, and that is due to demand. We've talked about what causes these prices to rise. Well, we already talked about the supply part with low inventory, but it's supply and demand. If you have low supply, but you don't have anyone that's interested in buying it anyway, prices aren't going to rise. But we have a lot of demand because there's a lot of people that are moving into the Knoxville area. Therefore, low supply, high demand equals prices increasing. Speaking of prices increasing, the National Association of Realtors did a recent study, and it said middle-income homeowners in Knoxville accumulated $109,890. So basically $110,000 in housing wealth as their homes appreciated over the last 10 years. So your average person, your average middle-income homeowner in Knoxville increased their net worth by $110,000 because of what happened to their home prices, the value of their home over the last 10 years. Does that tell you anything about why you would want to buy a home as opposed to rent a home? Guess how much it appreciated over the last 10 years for someone rented that whole time? Nothing. They got nothing. But if you were a middle-income home owner, your home price, your home value increased, and you are $110,000 wealthier. So we've said this before, and I'll say it again. Real estate is one of the number one wealth builders for securing a good investment for you and your family. And to be able to build generational wealth, you need to buy real estate. Okay. Another stat, half of the homes sold were under contract in 16 days or less. That's down from the previous month, so homes are selling faster. 23.8% of homes sold for more than the asking price. So we are still seeing homes sell for above the asking price. 12% sold for at least $10,000 over the asking price. 4% sold for at least $25,000 over the asking price. So we are still seeing that in the market. Again, the low supply, high demand is causing competition. And for good homes, people are having to pay over the asking price to secure them. Let me just show you this slide here. Homes are still receiving multiple offers. The typical listing in Knoxville received 2.2 offers in the first quarter of 2023. That's down from 6.2 offers in 2022, but still they are receiving multiple offers. While homes aren't receiving as many as the early months of 2022, multiple offer scenarios remain extremely common, with half of all homes receiving at least 2 offers. So again, expect competition if you are out there buying. And then let's see here, mortgage rates. Let's talk mortgage rates. Mortgage rates increased in recent weeks as the economic uncertainty placed upward pressure on rates. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate today, March 16th, you can see how volatile it's been this month. Okay, this was April, bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down. Then we got into May, but as of today, it's at 6.67%. For a average 30-year mortgage rate is at 6.67%. So you can see why maybe somebody that has a 3% mortgage rate locked in is not real excited about putting their house on the market if they have to get another mortgage to buy the next house they're getting, because they're going to have to pay 6.67% if they want a 30-year mortgage. So there you go. That's kind of what's happening in the market here now. It's not too different than it's been the last couple months. We're dealing with the same issues, low inventory, still have demand, which is driving prices up, and mortgage interest rates are still high. So affordability is an issue for many people, keeping many people out of the market simply because they can't afford the monthly payment. But if you can afford the monthly payment, do not wait for prices to go down. We saw from these graphs that prices are trending up. They aren't going to be coming down. So if you want to secure a home, you're best to do it now before prices continue increasing. We may see mortgage rates come down in the future. You know, there's talk of a recession, and we're pretty close. So when that happens, typically and historically in a recession, interest rates drop. So if you buy a home now and you get it at the lower price, and then interest rates drop in the future, you can refinance your mortgage and have the lower price home that you bought now and couple that with a lower interest rate later. But make sure that you can afford the home now with the current interest rate, and then it'll be a bonus later when you can refinance and reduce your payment. Hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, just reach out. My team and I are always here to help you. Again, real estate is not only local, it's hyper-local, so don't listen to the national news. This information is good for you, but again, it's hyper-local. So if you have specific questions about a specific property that you're looking at, or you want to know what the value of your home is in your subdivision on your block, that could be completely different as well. Reach out to us and we'll do that work for you. Doesn't cost you anything for us to give you a market analysis. We just want to help you make the most educated decision as possible. Hope you're having a great day. This is Troy Stavros, and we will talk to you soon.